Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Death Note. Last time on Death Note, we had love. So we kind of got introduced to our new Kira, basically. We got introduced to Misa and her Shinigami Rem. That's an important distinction. Yeah, we got to know them. They seem pretty interesting. And during all this, Light officially joined the Kira task force with L and his father. And, yeah, now he is using the task force to try to catch this imposter Kira, basically. And they ended up sending a message to her as Kira, and then she sent a message back, kind of revealing the existence of Shinigami, which kind of jeopardized everything, but luckily Light was able to sort of pass it off as, well, maybe that's what they call their power, and so that ended up working out. Why does my microphone bar, like the audio bar, it keeps going in the red? Am I speaking too loud? Maybe I'm speaking too loud. Hopefully I haven't, blown out the microphone or anything. That would suck. Ugh. So yeah. So I will try to be a bit softer in my speaking then. So yeah, then we cut to Misa and Rem. We got to know a bit more about her. She is a model, a young, pretty model, and the reason that Rem had 2 death notes was because she was actually there when another Shinigami died, because he extended the life of a human girl he fell in love with, and by extending life, it killed him, basically, and all of his years that he had left were transferred to the girl. Plot twist, that girl is Misa, so now it's her death note. So yeah, and yeah, then at the end we had a funny little scene of Light going back to the coffee shop, and Misa being there too, and neither of them seeing each other. So, yeah. This is where I say no spoilers. This is also where I say if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Death Note, it's not in this video, in this YouTube video you're watching, due to copyright reasons. So, it went into the red again, and all I said was so. I didn't do it that time. Is this thing okay? I didn't blow out this microphone, did I? That would suck. Come on, buddy. You're okay. Does this sound good to you? I'm sure it's recording these hand strokes. I don't know. I guess it's when I get to a certain octave that it really goes in the red. I don't know. Well, sorry. So yeah, if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Death Note, you can head down into the description of this video or to the pinned comment. There will be a link there. You can go watch my nice highlight reaction where it's all nice and edited and the video's in the corner and everything. And once you're done watching that, you can pop back over here for the discussion, which is always important. Always be sure you watch the discussion. And with that being said, we might as well get right into this episode of Death Note. Here we go. Alright. Okay. Oh, this plot. This plot, man. You know that old saying, the plot thickens. Man, if the plot has been thickening since episode 1. It's been getting thicker and thicker since episode 1. Eventually, we're not going to be able to go through it. It's just going to become solid at some point. Oh, boy. So, it is, and I guess we kind of already knew this. You know, she's kind of an obsessed fangirl, but it's like, she's an obsessed fangirl, and Light is going to take advantage of that. But she knows that she's being an obsessed fangirl, and she knows, and she is totally okay with Light taking advantage of her. And they've already created an incredible guise of an incredible disguise of her being his girlfriend. Oh my gosh. Man, so that's the meeting, huh? That's the meeting we got. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. She is now going to be his weapon. So instead of sacrificing half of his lifespan and getting the eyes, he's just going to use her eyes. And the thing is, she sacrificed half of her lifespan to get the Shinigami eyes. But she already had a lot of years on her because of Jealous. Like, she sacrificed half of her lifespan and she could probably still outlive him. That is crazy, man. Just the full manipulation. And to watch, it's so interesting to, watch all the gears turning in Light's head on what to do with Misa. Like, how does he... What does he do? What does he do? And, going through his head, everything, how many problems she could have created and stuff. But then he decides to look at the positives. She did conceal her identity from the cameras. She did conceal her fingerprints from being on the tapes. She did think of enough. She thought of enough to where she wouldn't get caught. Enough to slide. Enough to get to this point. Down to the message she sent that they intercepted with all the dates and what they did. And, she did, try to fool the police with the sports game. I don't remember what it was. For some reason, baseball popped into my head, and I was like, what were they playing? I don't know. I don't remember what kind of game they said it was. But yeah. So, she threw that in to kind of throw the police off, which, to an extent, it did, I suppose. To an extent, it did. But at the same time, even Elle immediately was like, this is way too easy. That can't be it. That can't be right. So then, even Elle was like, okay, well, we need to look at the rest of this, see if there's anything we're missing. Light was the only one that knew that, the part about the notebooks, because he has a Death Note. The two of them have Death Notes, so she put that in there because she knew he would recognize it. And he is the only one that recognizes the part about the notebooks talking about the Death Notes. So that's just so interesting. It's so interesting, watching Light weigh all of his options. He had his name, her name. He had her name. He had her face at that point. He could kill her now. He has a name and a face. He could kill her. But he's going to use her now as his weapon. And potentially get Elle's real name. He would have to kill everyone on that task force. Even then, I feel like I would be suspicious to the rest of... I don't know, the rest of the police, maybe? I don't know. But he would have to kill everyone on that task force so that he didn't... Well, I guess if you frame it just right, it doesn't draw suspicion to him. I don't know. But honestly, this does put Elle in a lot more danger now. Now that he has access to Shinigami eyes, but now that he has access to Shinigami eyes, even though he didn't sacrifice his life for it. Let's see. Okay. I wrote down the cover story of him having a girlfriend, which I thought was just kind of clever. I like that came back, but just to first off talk about that, I thought that was kind of funny that, you know, he has to hide that, you know, he's on the task force. So, well, what does he do? And so he says, "Oh, I was with my girlfriend," and then his sister, you know, runs in all excited, which was funny. And then when he says, you know, it's like, "Oh, don't you want dinner, Light?" And he was like, "No, I'm too full from the room service at the hotel." And it's just like, dude, what are you doing? You literally just openly confessed to your mother that you and your girlfriend were in a hotel room. Like, even the sister is like, did you really just say that? But nothing came of that, so... But I mean, he's 18. He's 18. He's in university. That's never gonna be normal to me. And I know, because they say university here, you know, probably to fill out the lip flaps on in the animation. But it's like, when Light says that, or I know some of you guys, you know, who are across the pond, as it will, when you guys say that, you know, you're going to university, it for like a split second, it's just weird to me, just because we don't say that in America. We say college, you know? And it's so much easier to just say college than university. So, or like, I think they, like on the Sarah Jane Adventures, when they would say like, "Oh, Luke's going off to university." It's like, you can just say college, you know? So, I don't know. It's just a weird little thing I pick up on. Just one of those, you know, I guess cultural differences. And of course, for here, you know, this isn't British, this is a Japanese show. So most likely, you know, when they dubbed it, the word for college is longer in Japanese. So they had to, you know, adjust for the lip flaps. You know, that's what they do when they dub a show. So instead of saying just college and having the extra lip flaps there, they just said university and it fit in. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess it is okay that, you know, I guess, you know, he said he's 18. He's going to university. He can take his girlfriend to a hotel. Like, he could have even just said, "Oh, well, I had dinner with my girlfriend." You know? It's like, no, he specifically said, "I filled up on room service from the hotel while I was with my girlfriend." It's like, I don't know. It was just kind of funny. Just that whole like disguise now he's put on, the lie to cover up being involved with the task force. So yeah, that was funny. Okay, the eyes. That was interesting, you know. That was interesting watching Light go to all this like length to hide him being Kira, because basically, so Misa would not be able to see Ryuk because she has not touched that Death Note. That's an interesting thing. But the two Shinigami can still see each other, technically. So Rem can see Ryuk, and then the thought was, well, if Rem saw Ryuk, then she would tell Misa, and then Misa would point out and be like, "Hey, that's Kira. That guy over there, that's Kira." And of course, it's interesting, you know, because Ryuk wouldn't do that. Ryuk said he would not do that. If he looked over and he saw Rem, and he saw her with Misa, he would not tell Light at all. He just wouldn't. You know, because he doesn't want to. He wants to let Light do all this by himself. He wants to see how Light does all this on his own. So that's interesting. And we didn't really see, like, is Rem's philosophy on that kind of the same? I don't know. I guess we haven't gotten enough of Rem to really figure out if that is her... If that is how she thinks about this, like Ryuk. But then, so they go through all this, like, Light gathers up a bunch of his friends and Matsuda. Oh, God. Excuse me. So he gathers up a bunch of his friends, and I like that, immediately to his friends, he's like, hey, this is my friend. He is his first time in Tokyo, so let's show him around. And he also said he wants a girlfriend. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, he can really... It sounds weird. He can really slip into being a human teenager sometimes. Because sometimes he's not, He's, murderous psychopath Kira. So that's funny. But yeah, so he goes to all this length so that, if Rem did see Ryuk, then she wouldn't be able to tell which one of them was Kira. So he goes to all this length, and then immediately as that group passes by, she just looks and is like, that one's Kira. That one is Kira, because she cannot see his lifespan, which is interesting, because Shinigami cannot see each other's lifespans, and because of that, now humans that have Shinigami cannot see each other's lifespans. So she just looks in that crowd and is like, Light Yagami, that guy doesn't have a lifespan under his name. That guy is Kira. It's like, wow. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. But I love it. Just immediately. And I like, too, when she says that, she tells Light, like, oh, I was able to point you out because two people with Shinigami can't see each other's lifespans, like the Shinigami can't see their lifespans. And he just gives Ryuk this look, and he's just like, huh, I didn't even know about that. So, that was some weird... that was like if you crossed Ryuk with, like, Krusty the Clown. I didn't even know about that. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a good way of describing that. I don't watch much Simpsons, so... but yeah, so that was funny. Just how immediately everything went out the window because she found him. And then, when she sent the message, and it's like, I found Kira, and Light's just like, what? No, you didn't. There was no way. There was no possibility. He was like running through everything. It's like, there's no fucking way. So that is hilarious. Just like watching L. God, sometimes those names just twist up for me. Light and L. Just watching Light try to figure this girl out was just amazing. And sure enough, luckily he just created the disguise of a girlfriend. He just created the story of having a girlfriend. And then, hey, this, cute young girl happens along. And Light he plays it off to his mom and his sister. It's like, yeah, I already told you about her. It's like, immediately, it's like, yep, this is my girlfriend. It's like, that is amazing. And then their whole conversation was just interesting, just everything, just kind of the desperation with Misa to try to get Light to love her. She even said at the end, it's like, I will do everything in my power to make you love me. It's like, this is an obsessed fangirl he's taking, but I guess he knows what he's doing. He does know he has to be careful, because she is still technically a threat to him. If he does anything, wrong, or if she turns against him, she can kill him. Granted, he can kill her too. But then you also get the whole thing of, you also get the fact that now he is going to hold on to her Death Note. But she is going to keep the Shinigami eyes. Oh, man. That is crazy. And then, we get the reveal. We actually get a bit more of her backstory. That her parents were killed. And the trial of the guy that killed them just went on forever to the point that, you know, people were starting to believe he was falsely accused. And then, I guess, you know, like she says, like, you know, as people were starting to think that maybe this guy didn't do it, then Kira killed him. Kira brought justice to this family and killed that guy. And that's why she's in love with Kira. That's it. That's why. Oh, man, oh, man. Which makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. It's not just that... Because, you know, I guess we kind of got backstory on her with the whole jealous thing. But now we have more backstory on her. Backstory that ties into Kira. Because that's the thing. It's like, you know, oh, this other person gets a death note. Well, they just happen to be a Kira supporter, you know? They happen to be, you know, a fan of Kira. And it's like, well, this is why. This backstory proves it. And it's like, yeah, she would. She would sort of fall in love. And now she had the opportunity to meet Kira. That's why she took the Shinigami eyes. And then just that this show does everything in the most dramatic way it can, but just that dramatic hug. But that was sort of the seal. It was like a seal of manipulation, you know? It was a seal on her. It's like, okay, she now basically belongs to him, you know? With that hug, it's like the two of them they're in league now. They are together, and they are going to pretend to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh boy. Hope they bang. Might as well. Get some enjoyment out of some of this. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. The banging light might not be so fun. I mean, I don't know. Her, though, she's definitely a cutie. So. But yeah, that hug at the end, it's like, yep, she is completely his. And he knows it, and he's going to use her as a weapon. And he just flat out says, like, all right, you are going to be my weapon. You know? Oh, boy. And, you know, it's an interesting thing, because you would almost think, you know, because Rem was saying at the beginning, when we first were introduced to the two of them, it's like, yeah, why don't you use the Death Note for yourself? And she was like, well, I am using it for myself to meet Kira. And it's like, you know, you would almost think, like, would Rem be okay with Misa being going completely under Light's control? But on the other hand, if she's anything like Ryuk, she's not gonna care, you know? I don't know. Maybe the only other thing I would say would be Misa giving the Death Note to Light. Even though it's still her Death Note, which means she keeps her Shinigami, she keeps her Shinigami eyes. But, yeah. But, you know, the fact that it's like, okay, well, Jealous died, therefore this is your Death Note, and then she just gives it to Light. I don't know. I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. Maybe that'll be the question for the episode, because, you know, this is what we do with Death Note. There's always, almost always, a question that leads into the next episode. My question for this episode is, maybe I should start writing these questions down in my notes, but the question that I have going into the next episode is, what are Rem's thoughts on this? Is she like Ryuk, or does she care more about Misa? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, what are her thoughts on this whole situation, basically? I think that'll be our question going into the next episode. And I'm excited. I'm excited to get into the next episode. I'm always excited to get into the next episode because I love this show. I'm so... oh, God. I burped. I'm so happy to be watching this show, as always. I love it. It's amazing. Yeah, that's basically that. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Death Note reactions, You can click on the playlist. You can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media. Links below in the description. See you guys later.